Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining today is your city administrator, Chad Brecklin, back in the hot seat, my friend. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Just got to put some pressure on.
Yeah, geez, I tell you,
I'm
starting to sweat now.
That's the TF effect here. We got a couple of things to update on. We'll jump right into it. This week, we're seeing 2 more police facility new design updates. Postcards went in the mail ahead of this meeting to get more outreach on and make sure that everybody's aware of what's going on here. But what are we going to see coming up this week?
Yeah, so obviously, as you mentioned, all of the residential addresses in the city of Fitchburg recently received a postcard informing them or ensuring that they are aware of the police services facility project that the city is currently working through. And there are a couple of meetings coming up this week. One February 6th today at 6:30 p.m. at the Doxa Church in the Southdale neighborhood. And then again on Thursday evening, February 8th, again at 6:30 at Leopold Elementary School. It's an opportunity for those who are interested in learning more about that project to come out, and there'll be a presentation from police department staff, and they'll inform where the design process has led them to at this point in time, and they'll talk about the very specific purpose of a police facility and the needs that are associated with that sort of building in regards to the overall operations of a police department. So again, it's a great opportunity to come out and learn more about this this project in the city.
And if you're watching this, after these 2 dates that Chad just mentioned, these videos are posted on the website too. So all the public information meetings that have happened, go to fitchburgwi.gov. Right on the homepage there, the police new facilities, so you can check those out in case you missed it, and or if you want to learn more on the project page as well. That is there and can answer some questions when we're not in front of you answering questions, which is a good thing.
It's a great point.
Another project that you had touched on was the referendum. We just wanted to again continue to keep people up to date on this, and more importantly, if you missed, you had a presentation recently. I think it was a great place to tell you what's coming up and kind of wrapping your head around what, why, and how, and the involvement from the public that's going to be coming up. So just again recap a little bit of that. Yeah.
So as we've talked about, and we'll continue likely talking about for several more appearances over the course of this year, is the City Council since summer of last year has been considering its options in regards to really trying to manage the levy limits that are imposed by state law here in Wisconsin, and how challenging that makes it to continue to provide the services and staff appropriately for a growing community like Fitchburg. So obviously the council has been keenly interested in pursuing a referendum. As we've talked about, we're working with a communications firm in order to help guide the process here of making sure that our residents and business owners and property owners have information available and accessible to them, and in the particular case of what I'm going to mention here, have an opportunity to really participate in the process. And we are still anticipating that a survey will be sent out at the end of this month to residences here in the city of Fitchburg, and allow our residents to really help guide the council on how best to meet the challenges that are facing the city right now in order to help maintain the services that it is providing, and also position itself for response to the continued growth that the city experiences. So it'll be an opportunity for our community to weigh in on, what, if anything, would you support in a referendum, be it staffing, be it transit, being operating costs, or other things that may be of a priority to particular residents. And if they are willing to support certain things being added into a referendum, how much might they be willing to support an increase in their residential property taxes? So staff and the Common Council both know that property taxes are an ever-increasing impact on all of our property owners, and we certainly want to be cognizant about the impact there. And I know locally our Common Council has really tried to be extremely prudent with its tax levy the last, I was going to say the last several years, but really historically has been really, really financially responsible to try to minimize those tax impacts, at least for the city share of those tax impacts, for critical needs and things that are meeting the growing needs of the community and so forth. So this again is a good opportunity for us to really see where our community is at and help inform the decisions that the council is going to be making likely in May.
Levy limits. For somebody who's not familiar with levy limits and how the city is bound to those, what does that mean and why is that the discussion point?
Yeah, so I'm going to tread a little lightly in here. This is probably a better question for our finance director, Misty.
We don't need to totally break it down.
Yeah, but I'll at least give a high-level overview. But basically, state law it has what's called levy limits, and that does not allow a municipality to increase the amount with which it levies property tax other than what equates to their net new construction over the course of a year. A lot of folks look around Fitchburg and say, well, there's a lot of construction. You know, the city must be able to increase its budget significantly or its levy and should be able to meet the growing needs of its community. And in theory, that might be true, but what we're all experiencing both professionally in our places of employment and the work that we do professionally and also at home in our personal situations is inflation and the cost of just providing, goods and services, benefits, buying materials, equipment. All of those things have ever increasing costs. And in reality, if we're anticipating a 3% inflationary cost every year, we would need at least a 3% net new construction in order just to stay status quo. And of course, with a growing community, we need typically more equipment to plow more roads, to provide public safety, to mow parks, all of these services.
You name it,
and so forth. So the bottom line is that the way the law is currently structured, it does not afford the flexibility that can be needed, particularly for local governments in the state of Wisconsin. And more of them, much like school districts, have typically been the ones going to voters for referendum. More and more local governments are turning to referendum to help fund the needs of their communities.
Yeah, nope, and I good breakdown, way better than I would have did. But I think a good breakdown and understanding. We'll talk about it more as it comes up, but know that the survey should be coming out here at the end of the month. Of course, the updates will continue. You'll get it at Common Council, as Chad will give you an update there during that meeting, and then next month we'll be talking about that here on Talking Fitchburg. Two more pieces here. Mayor's proposed ARPA TID closure investment plan is out, and we're looking for you residents alike to comment on the plan.
Yeah, so this has been going on for a few years now, but obviously we had a couple of things that provided some one-time money to the city so that it could address some of its needs that the council has been considering. The ARPA, American Rescue Plan Act, was money that was provided by the federal government in response to some of the challenges that the pandemic presented. And then we've closed 3 TID districts in the last 3 years, Orchard Point, the Nobel Drive Technology Campus, Promega through there and out towards 14, and then the Southdale TID. And all of those have generated some one-time money based upon their success that is available for the community or the council to use, again, on typically one-time sorts of expenditures. So this investment plan has identified ideas and priorities that the council has sought in consultation as well with staff. And this is an opportunity for the public to take a look at that list. And if they have some opinions or feelings about what's on that list or what may not be on that list or what they'd like not on that list, the upcoming public input period is an opportunity for them to do that.
February 13th at Common Council will be your opportunity to speak on that. It'll be up on the agenda that night. So if you're interested, you can certainly come down to City Hall or register to speak online during that meeting. Finally, 2024 Streets Resurfacing Project and Public Involvement Meeting has been scheduled. Tell us a little bit about this one and what we can expect.
Yeah, so if I recall correctly, and I'm sure you have the date there, it's on the 25th of February, is that right?
26th is what he's trying to
So-
say. He was just testing me at
Yeah.
5:30 p.m. at the City Hall here.
Thank you. So I did not recall correctly, so I appreciate you having the correct information. But this is, again, an opportunity for those who are having resurfacing projects come in front of their property or near their property this coming summer during our annual resurfacing project. An opportunity to come out, look at the plan that's proposed, which streets are going to be affected, what the anticipated timeline is going to be, and also have staff available where folks can ask questions and just have an interaction with our team. It's something new that we're trying this year. In the past, we have not typically done a public informational meeting for our resurfacing projects. But, as we end up generally, resurfacing a bit more each year, more and more neighborhoods and residences and businesses can be impacted by that, and this is a good opportunity for those who are going to be impacted or anticipated to be impacted to learn more about what those impacts might be and the timing.
Yeah, and there is a project website for this too, so you can kind of see what those roads are ahead of time. But if you can make it out, that meeting again on February 26th, 5:30 p.m. here at City Hall. And there were postcards mailed out to the affected residents. So depending where you are, you may have received a postcard about the information regarding this meeting and that you may be impacted by construction. So either way, that's a lot of information, Chad. We really picked your brain today. I told you you were in the hot seat. A lot of stuff. Appreciate your time, and we'll check back in with you next month.
Thank you.